Welcome to our video series titled Introduction to Budgeting as part of the Financial Literacy and Wellness Badge Program here with UNLV Graduate College presented by US Bank. My name is Dr. John Hirano. I am a goals coach with US Bank. I help individuals like yourself really investigate and understand what your goals are, understand why they're important, and then walk alongside you as you achieve those goals and overcome the obstacles that are in your way. One of the things that are important about the goals we talk about, they're not all financial. Sometimes there are things like pursuing our passion or really understanding about leaving a legacy for your family. In this series, we'll share a little bit about the importance of basic steps for budgeting, as well as some best practices of keeping you on track. I would now like to introduce my partner and colleague, Jason Chilton. Take it away.
Thank you, Dr. John Hirano. Hi, I'm Jason Chilton. I'm the manager at US Bank branch in the UNLV Student Union building. I've been with US Bank for 13 years now, and I've had the pleasure of working right here on the UNLV campus for the past 5. A very common topic that students ask me about is budgeting. Many of us who are attending school have a part-time job because of time constraints. Unfortunately, you don't have part-time expenses. Usually, you actually have more because you have tuition and books on top of your regular bills. This is why establishing a monthly budget is a useful financial practice that can help you meet your monthly commitments and save money. Using the following tips can help you develop smart budgeting habits today to build savings for tomorrow. Now, the first step is identify your monthly net income. Your net income is how much you make after deductions such as taxes and insurance, the amount you actually take home. Be sure to include all sources of income. This includes your regular pay, tips, commissions, and any side gigs you may have. The second step, you want to determine your monthly expenses. Use a budgeting worksheet or app to help you get started. Make sure to also consider expenses that do not take place on a monthly basis. This includes things like property taxes, insurance, and auto registration. You would include these expenses in your monthly budget by calculating how much you need to save each month in order to pay for them. Third, subtract your monthly expenses from your net income to see where you stand. This will help you understand if you're a successful saver, a heavy spender, or somewhere in between. Fourth, adjust your expenses. Now, while in the long term you can add income by seeking a promotion, getting a second job, or pursuing a new career by going to college like many of you are, in the short term, it's often easier to cut expenses. So you want to identify expenses you can reduce or eliminate to save money. And the fifth step, save for unexpected expenses and emergency as part of a rainy day fund. It is recommended to have at least 3 months cost of living expenses in your emergency fund. And remember, this is not your total current expenses, but rather essential expenses for things you can't live without, such as rent, utilities, and groceries. The sixth and final step is set goals to be on your way to financial wellness. Now, Dr. Hirano, what would be a good tip for setting a financial goal?
You know, Jason, I always say start with small savings goals. Start with something that's manageable, something realistic, something that you can attain. This is important because it really just starts kind of building some momentum. It's when that each month you're able to be like, yeah, I hit that goal. I was able to save that month. It gives you the confidence to save a little bit more the following months. I think it's just a great way to get started, Jason.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hirano. I love that idea, just take those small little goals to help you reach that big, large goal. Now let's look at some budgeting techniques. A helpful budgeting technique to follow is the 50-30-20 rule. The 50-30-20 rule recommends that you spend 50% of your income on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% either saving or paying on debt, or a combination of the two. Now the 50% on needs are things like rent, groceries, health, and transportation. The 30% on wants are all the fun things that we enjoy doing. This could be traveling, going out to eat, or buying a ticket to your favorite band and concert. And the remaining 20% should be used to build your savings or pay down debt. If you make that habit now, you'll be able to save more money as your income goes up without feeling like it's a stretch. This is just one technique. There are several other techniques out there. I would highly recommend researching different ones to see which one works best for you. Now, this is just a brief introduction to budgeting. For more information on this and other financial topics, please refer to the link attached to this video. Dr. Hirano, are there any other budgeting tips you would recommend to share with us?
You know what? Thanks, Jason, and thanks for all that information, great information you shared with us. If there's one more tip I have for you in terms of budgeting, it's just get started. Sometimes the hardest thing for us to do is to get started. We think we need to have all the information, have all the numbers correct. Sometimes it's just starting with some ballpark figures that let you get some numbers on page and start tracking things. Each month you'll look at your numbers, reevaluate, and at the end of the day, each month just get a little bit better at it, to the point that your, what we like to say, your projected and your actual numbers pretty much match 1-to-1. And this is just a great practice of just getting started, and this is a great thing with most goals that we try to accomplish in our lives. But now that we've talked about budgeting a little bit, I want you to take a little bit of time to self-reflect and think about these questions you see in front of you. First, do you currently plan your monthly budget? If not, would you consider starting? How might you implement that 50-30-20 rule into your budget? Are you trying to save 20% each month? Are you also, thirdly and lastly, are you going to a monthly review of your budget? Are you actually looking over it? Or are you just like starting over each month anew? Taking that time to reflect really is what makes budgeting the most powerful tool you can have in terms of starting off with some good financial wellness. Now that you have the foundation understanding of a budget, our next video will discuss some common budgeting tips and how to avoid some common mistakes along the way. See you soon.